Hey, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to another video on the Monster Bass channel. My name is Jeremy Francis with Fishing the Lonestar, and today I'm breaking down for you the top 5 pre-spawn baits because yes, it's that time of year. If it's not already here for you, it will be coming soon. The pre-spawn is coming. Let's talk about what baits to throw and use. So number 5, in no particular order, but this bait has been thrown a lot in a lot of big tournaments and it's caught a lot of big bass. And in fact, tournaments have been won recently on the spinnerbait. Now I'll show you a couple different ones. This is a KVD spinnerbait with double willow blades. This is another spinnerbait. This one's silver. This one's more of a gold with a Colorado and a willow. And then you have also more of a double willow, but more of a copper color. What you're basically trying to create with a spinnerbait is a lot of commotion, a lot of sound, and trying to grab and draw that big bite. You can throw them without a trailer, or you can add a trailer, such as this Swimbait that's on the end. Ultimately, you've got some choices with a spinnerbait. One thing you need to consider though, in the pre-spawn is 2 things, slow and big. You want a big presentation to draw a big bite, and you want to slow down your presentation probably a little bit more than what you're used to, because that's what fish are looking for. They don't want to spend a lot of energy because they're about to go into spawn mode, but they're looking for some big bites, some big presentations, and a spinnerbait can be what gets the job done for you. Try a spinnerbait and pre-spawn. All right, number 4, and something that I personally don't throw enough of, but I know my social media feed has been blowing up lately with people catching big fish, and that's on rattle traps and the pre-spawn. Now, this is more of a red style crawl. This is more of a chrome blueback sexy shad. This is a blue Bill Lewis. This is a red eye shad by Strike King, and then more of a bone color one knocker by Booyah Baits. Get my fingers out of the hooks. But a rattle trap fished slow and the pre-spawn can be a killer. I would recommend one of these 3 colors. You've got your red crawl color, you've got a chrome blueback, or you've got a bone color. Those 3 seem to be what work and catch a lot of fish. I know the red recently has landed a lot of big bass for a lot of people. Try throwing a rattle trap and pre-spawn. You can yo-yo it, you can bounce it, you can slow retrieve, you can burn it fast. Multiple ways to retrieve this, but I'll tell you, the rattle trap gets it done in the pre-spawn. All right, I mentioned fishing slow in the pre-spawn normally draws a bite, and coming at number 3 is a jerkbait. Definitely does that trick. There's one of 3 shown here. A really popular one though is the jerkbait by Strike King, the KVD. These really get the job done. Now, you want to fish these probably around some primary lake points. These are shallow divers. You can get them that dive even deeper. Really though, a jerkbait is meant to be kind of a jerk pause. Jerk pause. That's why they call it a jerkbait. And you're going to want to just vary the retrieve, see what works. Sometimes going incredibly slow, like 4 to 5 seconds between each pause is what's going to draw the strike. Sometimes fishing them faster is going to draw a strike. But a jerkbait and the pre-spawn, this is probably one of the main times throughout the year that people fish jerkbaits and get a lot of good fish. I know Lake Fork recently in Texas, the pre-spawn bite has been on fire with a jerkbait. Jerkbaits get the job done in the pre-spawn, and is one that you should be throwing. Definitely should be in your top 5. All right, coming in at number 2, and actually the next 2 baits or techniques are something that I fish a lot of, and I've lost track on how many fish I've caught with them. But the next number 2 is going to be a crawl, Texas rig crawl or Carolina rig crawl. I can't speak highly enough about a crawl style bait and how many fish I've caught on these baits. Now, this is the normal rage crawl. This is also another crawl by Egg Zone Lures, or you could even go a little bit more finesse and do like a rage menace, or even the finesse version of the muscleback crawl by Egg Zone Lures. But a crawl Texas rigged, I mentioned fishing slow. Sometimes fishing slow and just dragging a crawl across the bottom is going to draw some big bites for you. I know I've caught a lot of fish so far in the pre-spawn on this bait here, or on this technique, which is a Texas rig crawl. I've caught just as many on the number 1 bait. Let's discuss it now. All right, number one, and my favorite pre-spawn, maybe not spawn, summer, fall, probably my hands down number one favorite bait to throw, especially in the pre-spawn, is going to be a swim bait. Now here's a couple of different styles. Here's a jointed hard body. Here's a kind of, I think this is a 5-inch paddle tail. And then also here's a 4-inch kind of a jointed body paddle tail. Now these paddle tails, one thing that I love about them is you can burn them across the top. You can fish them weedless. You can drag them across the bottom. You can hop them. There's multiple ways you can retrieve these depending upon what the fish are wanting. But I'll tell you, one of the number one ways that I've caught fish in the pre-spawn is by taking a paddle tail, Texas rigging it on a belly weighted hook, and literally just dragging it slowly across the bottom. Just enough for that tail to give it some action and some kick and to draw a strike. Fish aren't wanting to move very much in the pre-spawn, but they are always chasing bait fish, in my opinion, especially in the pre-spawn. Dragging a swim bait across the bottom or pulling it through grass weedless is really going to draw some big bites, along with fishing somewhat of a, this isn't necessarily a wake style, but a jointed swim bait. Fishing it slowly will also help draw some big bites in the pre-spawn. My number one choice is going to be the swim bait. All right, guys, that's the top 5 rundown for your pre-spawn selection, starting with spinner baits. A lot of commotion, big profile. Next, rattle traps. Can't go wrong with a rattle trap in the pre-spawn. This is a blue chrome color. I would also recommend red. A jerk bait. Slow pauses, fast twitches and jerks with slow pauses in between will get you big strikes on a jerk bait. The Rage Crawl Texas rigged, pulling that across the bottom will also get you big bites. And my personal favorite, the paddle tail swim bait. Always a great selection, a great option that you can Texas rig weedless, pull through grass, fish it slow, fish it fast, fish it shallow, whatever you need. These top 5 should get it done for you in the pre-spawn. Hey, thanks for checking out this video, and make sure you subscribe to the Monster Bass channel. There's a lot of great videos coming your way, technique specific on each of these baits, each of these lures, along with the regional pro box. If you are not subscribed yet to the monthly regional pro box, it's what I use and what I fish with. This box gets it done for me and has introduced me to many new techniques, many new baits that I would not have otherwise tried. I would highly recommend the Regional Pro Box because there's professionals that are picking baits and lures that are going to work for your region at the time of year you need them to work. So make sure you check out Monster Bass. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Drop a like, and hey, if there's something else that I may have missed that's one of your top 5 in the pre-spawn, drop a comment below. Let me know. My name is Jeremy from Fishing the Lonestar on the Monster Bass channel. And until next time, peace.